What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? Girl, I know y'all like, damn, Ashley, this is a little late. Listen, let me just tell you something. I had to go to work today, okay? And I was tired last night, so, and I knew I just really wasn't going to be able to focus. So, therefore, you getting it when you're getting it. You're getting it on the same day. You're just getting it a little later, okay? Probably when the episode air. But anyway, this is Power. Book 2, Ghost, season 2, episode what? 7. Force My Hand. Okay. So the episode starts off, and remember last week when Drew had told Diddy Lorenzo that we need to follow Keno, get him out the box or whatever, and he was like, okay, cool, we gonna do your little plan, okay, we gonna shadow him and all that stuff. Now, baby, I'm thinking we just gonna shadow him, okay? I didn't think all of this was gonna happen right at the beginning of the episode, baby. We get to this house, this door. First of all, what is it with these gang members, okay? um what is it with these street dudes, whatever, on these shows, being up in these little dilapidated ass apartment buildings or warehouse buildings, and then y'all doing bitches up in there too? And I'm just sitting here like, girl, you must really have no self-respect for you to be fucking around in a place that look like this, okay? Because all I be thinking about is, if I pull my stuff, you want me to pull my clothes out on some stuff that is dust over here, is dirt over here. It could be some little insects and rats and shit running around. Just because y'all killing and chilling up in here, I'm supposed to let, girl, it could crawl up in my put. I ain't got time for that, okay? I said that's nasty, and all we hear is some, heavy breathing or whatever. I said, oh my God, somebody gets in there getting banged, okay? I said, is that what's going on? Girl, they opened up the door. Keno is up in there doing some, girl, doggy style or whatever. And next thing you know, it just reminded me of that scene from Set It Off when Claire was like, climb up out the pussy, Luther. You know what I'm saying? Told Luther that before they shot his ass. Okay. But at this point, Keno got his gun out. He was like, what? What? I should have known. What? Next thing you know, Drew said pop. And I said, wait a minute. Girl, Drew done popped him. Okay. I said, now hold up. When I say he did that shit clear with no hesitation, I said, all right. This probably why I see where Lorenzo coming from. Like, you a little silent killer up in this bitch. Like, when you take it out when you need to do it. He go over there talking to old girl like, listen, you ain't see nothing that happened here, okay? Everything's gonna be good. You ain't gotta say nothing, right? She was like, okay. And I was sitting here like, Meanwhile, Lorenzo talking to old boy who was with him saying, okay, so now you finna take over and do what was planned to do. You know what I'm saying? Push our product out there. Girl, next thing you know, old boy then went over there and shot old girl. I said, what? Drew getting up in his feelings like, this wasn't the plan. I said, Drew, you should have known, okay? All your faces, like Lorenzo said, it would have been cool if I would have shot him, but he didn't. It was you, so therefore he's protecting you. Cause ain't no telling what that girl can do. That girl can trick. You know what I'm saying? You saw what happened to Ghost. With Sneaker Girl. Meanwhile, Tejada, Monet is at the bar. Okay, she counting some money or whatever she doing, doing her books. Next thing you know, this lady come in. She was like, Monet Tejada, what's going on? I said, oh my God, I know that voice. Girl, why Annalise Keaton, aka Mama from New York Undercover, aka, yeah, that was Annalise Keaton, old boss slash crush slash the bitch that she was flirting, trying to get her kids back or whatever. That was her. I said, oh, Evelyn, what's going on, girl? She said, listen, my Frank came to meet you. The last time I seen him, he was coming over there to see your ass, okay? And he ain't never been home ever since, And Monet was like, listen, I don't know what's going on with that, okay? My whole thing is, why the hell was he getting out so early, okay? And if it was a issue with him snitching and all that stuff, this is the streets, okay? This is what happens, And I was just like, y'all know y'all killed that man, but okay, it is what it is. We gotta play it off. But Monet is right. Girl, you can't come up in here being pissed off at me because you don't know where your husband at, and the fact that the streets probably got him because he was a snitch, okay? Listen, she was like, I just don't want you to have to go through the pain that I'm going through, having to raise the whole household and come. I said, who fault is that? Your man should have thought about that, okay? Girl, Monet gave her some money and said, get the fuck out. That's basically what she did, okay, to smooth things over. Because girl said, tell Lorenzo, to be careful and watch his back. I said, oh, so that's what we doing? Meanwhile, when Lorenzo came home with Drew, they sneaking in the back or whatever, and she was all up in her feelings or whatever, like, so what y'all do? Huh? What you gonna do? I feel like you didn't put my son up in some harm's way or whatever. And I've been trying to get us out of this whole game so we won't have to do this stuff. Okay? Lorenzo, he ain't been in the game. He ain't been on the street like that in 10 years. Okay? And so therefore he's like, listen, playtime is over. Daddy's home. You're not about to tell me what I'm gonna do, okay? I'm not about to live off no man because she did bring up Zeke going into the league. I said the fact that, she's putting so much hope on Zeke being in the league, yeah, he could possibly get to the league, but it's also a possibility that he won't stay up in there because he could probably blow his shit out and not even last the whole first season. You know what I'm saying? So she put too much hope on this boy, and Lorenzo like, I ain't finna live off no other man, okay? And, I made sure Drew wasn't hurt and wasn't in no position to get caught up or whatever. So it's all to the good, calm your tits, boo. And at this point, I said, Monet, just go ahead and call Dante to get him to take him out, okay? There go the salvation of all your problems. Meanwhile, you got Tariq meeting up with Saxe and Davis. And basically they showed him a video of what prosecutors got in discovery as evidence against him. It's a video of somebody shooting Ramirez, okay? We know who that person was. It was Kane, okay? And Tariq looking like, I don't know who the fuck that is, but it ain't me, okay? He know who it is, but he know that it ain't him, okay? He was like, I was with Paula that night when this whole thing happened at someplace or whatever, and it was like, damn, we can't even get her to come through because Davis and Paula, y'all remember when Davis was fucking Paula in the first season? He was cheating on his wife with her, okay? And she was dead. She was in love with him, okay? So Saxe was like, I knew you was fucking her. I said that, Saxe, you fucking Sullivan. So calm that down. But at the same time, Saxe wants them to go ahead and Tariq to go ahead and to put it out there that who doing this, okay? We see that somebody is close to you that is framing you. Now Saxe is knowing that, okay, he's possibly could be innocent in this. At least in this one, yes, he did not do this. But of course, Tariq don't want to say nothing. It was supposed to be this memorial visual dinner thing or whatever that they're doing for Jabari Reynolds, the professor. They told him don't go because it's going to be people that's there that's going to be trying to, that's gonna feel away, okay? So just stay low key, stay on the cut, stay low, all right? And so Saxe just didn't understand why he won't say nothing, and Davis had to tell him this is the streets, okay? It's a different code, and you should know that by now, all right? Like, come on. Meanwhile, he actually showed up to class. That's what got me, bitch. He actually showed up to class. And of course, Carrie is in her feelings. Like, what the fuck? Mind you, he just got through talking to, oh boy, Tate. Because he was talking to Brayden. Brayden got him that album book, and it was a picture up in there that we did not see that he wanted, and he was laughing at it. He was like, no, I can't let you take this. I can't let you, fuck the family over like this or whatever. And it was like, you always talking about how your family ain't nothing, and they keep on, benefited from white privilege, and you want to get away from that. But when it comes time to get away from it, you always trying to stick up for him or whatever. And he was like, listen, I got your back all day, all night, but I just can't let you do this, okay? And so we found out that the picture is of Sweeney dressed in blackface as O.J. Simpson, and the dad is dressed as Nicole Kidman. I mean, not Nicole Kidman. Nicole, the one that his wife, okay? And I was just like, wow, that's fucked up, And so Tariq is telling Tate this, and Tate was like, I can't do it. Okay, that's fine. That'll mess up somebody's career, but I need proof. I need the picture. He said, yeah, I'll get the picture. And he was like, it's just this whole thing with Brayden and his daddy. I need you to promise not to get the Westcotts up in there. And he said, fuck them Westcott. I said, I know that's right. Now, see, that was the one time I was really with Tate. Okay, fuck them. Fuck them. Okay, don't nobody care, And at this point, he was like, I'm the only one that's going to be able to get you to get your sister. Okay, so do what you got to do. He was like, all right, cool. Now, while they was up in the classroom, Carrie is up there talking about how the hell they let him come back up in here. I said, because they ain't got nothing on him right now. You know what I'm saying? So you need to calm your tits, miss. You ain't finna do nothing, okay? And they up in there, everybody, they doing a little murmuring or whatever because it's like, it's like, oh my God, look at them. He here. But then they start talking about, do we do stuff without consent or something about consent? Do we give up consent? Is stuff happening before consent? She made it a point to make Tariq be the first person to talk, and Lauren was like, or like teachers exploiting students or whatever, under her breath. And Carrie was like, "What did you say?" She was like, "Nothing, girl. I said, Lauren, you should have bossed up right then and there. You should have put her on blast, okay?" So they go through this whole thing about the consent and signing over consent, and sometimes consent is already taken away from us or whatever. Fine. And then we find out that Lauren had, at least Tariq found out that Lauren had went through the drug raid, the rooms, okay? And so he found her after the class and was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" "Well, how the hell was I supposed to know to tell you? Because obviously you said that you're not involved in this, so why would I tell you? And at this point, why the hell do you care? Because you broke up with me, right? We done. I got to go write this speech for this damn memorial, whatever. So it is what it is." Meanwhile, Carrie ass is just standing over there, just looking like this. I said, "Bitch, now let me tell you something. We wanted Jabari out the box so damn bad, okay, in the first season, that we failed to realize that your ass was an issue too. And now you literally taking his place, okay? Now you done seen what happened with whoever come in the path of goddamn Tariq. They get taken out. Not sooner, but later they do, okay? But eventually. And that's what's going to happen to you. And if she don't, I'm going to be really upset, because at this point, she getting on my goddamn nerves. Like, girl, you too fine to be like this, okay? It's always the fine ones that just be, I'm going to be mad, girl. Kill her. So Davis went over there to go meet up with Paula, okay? Miss Paula and her girl. Everybody that upgraded this season, okay? They like, listen, we civilians now, so we can get, we can afford the good wigs or whatever. And I was like, all right, listen, Miss Paula, okay? But basically, he up there trying to make it seem as though, corroborate and confirm Tariq's alibi. Was he really with you in Times Square? Or Times Central, whatever, Times Square, whatever the freak it was. They met up, okay? Remember when they met up and, he was like trying to, get the confession out of him or whatever. And that's what he did, confess that he did kill his daddy and all that stuff. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, so at this point, Paula was like, "That's cool or whatever." Yeah, but we only met for like a quick second. And it still would have gave him time enough to go over there and to do what he needed to do if he did this to Ramirez or whatever. And I'm pretty sure he probably is on the hook for the Jabari murder too. Okay, cool. But at the same time, Davis wanted her to come in and to, basically, I guess, testify on the behalf or whatever, but she's not gonna do it, okay? And then, he basically telling her, "Okay, I will forgive you for the way that things ended between us and the way that you ended it with us and all this stuff. I didn't really want it to end, and all this." You literally effed her over to the point that she had to leave, okay? And you got a drink and thought that you was going to be able to sway her to come over to your side. I'm so glad she poured that drink on him and just walked out and told him, "Put your ring back on too." I said, no, you did not show up thinking that you was going to be able to sway her and then have sex with her. Because that's why the ring was off. You notice, and if you go back to season 1, every time he was with her, he took the ring off. You know what I'm saying? I said, child, mind you, she already knew he was married. I said, what in the world? Is it a less for you, so that you won't be so guilty conscious about it? But anyway, Tariq came up there to talk to him, and he basically was like, yeah, so Paula said it was true, but, she not going to testify or nothing, so we're going to have to find another way. Put Yasmin on the stand. Tariq don't want this, okay? And he's like, what am I gonna do? He's not trying to do all of this stuff or whatever. He winds up telling him about the fact that, Lauren got her room raided or whatever, and could this possibly have anything to do with his case? And so, Saxe is hearing his name, Lauren, and he remembers hearing that name when he was up there for Sullivan the last time we saw them together, and we saw Lauren up in his in old girl office. So therefore, he was like, wait a minute, what she look like? Davis was like, what does that matter? And so he pulled up a picture and he was like, you know what? No, I don't know her, but don't say nothing to her because you just don't know. But after that, when Tariq leaves, that's when Sack said, listen, she was up there and I'm pretty sure she's on the prosecuting team, okay? And so now they gotta worry about that. And I'm just like, this just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Everett and Drew out there doing what they doing or whatever, and we find out that the course correct stuff ain't, doing it for Everett no more because things just a little bit too hot. He was like, he heard about the whole thing with Tariq getting arrested, and it's a good thing that Zeke wasn't in the room with him or, rooming with him like he was before because, that could have got him fucked up. Meanwhile, somebody knocking at the door, it's the detective. Who it is? Detective Whitman. Bitch, I'm so tired of him. I thought we was done with him for a second. It was so good it's like, we stopped seeing him and then Carrie picked up on his energy and said, let's give it to them. Okay? Or we not going to see him. He transferred his energy into Carrie and just made us dislike that bitch even more. Okay? I'm just sitting here like, what? So basically, he calling up there or he trying to, get some more information out of Everett about the whole G situation where he got beat up after the club and all that stuff, and then he name dropped Drew and they family and all that. And so he was like, listen, I don't know nothing else about it. I gave my statement. I don't have nothing else to say. I said, Everett, you looking so guilty at this point. You looking like you got something to have because Drew was back there hiding or whatever. And at this point, you just shaky, okay? You just real shaky. And, the detective picked up on that. And he saw that he had some clothes on the floor or whatever, like, ooh, who back there? And so he was like, listen, I ain't got nothing else to say. He closed the door. He tells Drew it's over, it's done with. He was like, no, he gonna be back. He gonna be back. So at this moment, Drew winds up texting Diane that, oh boy is the problem. We got to talk about him. And we know what him is, and I'm pretty sure it's Everett, okay? But, bitch, before we get to that, Zeke is on the basketball court, and here comes Dante. Yo, you want to do a little one-on-one? No, man, I'm just shooting around or whatever. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting here like, please don't do what I think you're about to do. Dante is so petty, okay? Dante said, since you won't say it and you want to end our little arrangement and go against what you said, I'm finna blow the spot up a little bit, okay? I'm your daddy. He was like, you wanna know how I know your daddy? Because the way that he smoothed it in there, he was like, oh, yo, you got them basketball shoes, one shoe, 1 foot bigger than a half size bigger than the other. He's like, how you know that? Because it runs in the family. It runs in the family? I said, Zeke, why are you entertaining this? First of all, I would have been like, excuse me, let me get the hell up out of here. Because my mama told me not to talk to strangers, okay? Zeke looked like the big dummy that'll say some shit like that at his grown age. But anyway, he was like, I'm your daddy, okay? And you want to know how you got your name? Look at this. It's a scripture from Ezekiel, whatever, that I had ever since I was 16 years old. Go ahead and ask your mama about it. And I'm sitting here like, now which mama is that? He don't know that Monet the mama. I said, Dante, why you so damn petty? And Zeke so damn dumb. Meanwhile, Monet, she up here rushing trying to get her keys or whatever. Baby, she saw Diane in the car, she said, shut the fuck up, little girl, okay? I said, damn, like, she can't stand Diane at this point, okay? She said, get the fuck out of my way, little girl. I said, ooh. Wow, this is how we're talking to each other. She said, listen, bitch. She said, Mama, why are you acting like this? I thought you would be more excited. Listen, girl, you got everything that you wanted, right? You got your daddy out of jail. You going to school or whatever. No, I wanted to go to Stanford. I told you you're not going up there to talk to no Tariq, okay? I said, you know what? This little tension between y'all, I'm going to need it to Holy Spirit activate and excavate. Okay, I just needed to go. She trying to meet up with this agent for Zeke. Zeke don't show up. Zeke don't show up for the simple fact that he got this news. And when she go up there to meet him, he was like, some dude come up to the court talk about something. He my daddy. Light skinned in the motherfucker, but I'm finna go talk to my mama. I said, I'm glad that he brought that up because y'all been saying that too. And I seen that on Twitter, like, how this light skinned dude gonna have this dark skinned child? But genetics is a funny thing, okay? Monet is dark skin, or I should say brown skin. So of course it could just skip him and go to biology so you can get it. But I was like, yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I knew his dumb ass was gonna bring it up. You know, he was like, I'm gonna go talk to my mom. I said, which mama? I said, Monet, go ahead and tell him. Go ahead and tell him. He was like, listen, sit down, Zeke. No, I'm gonna go talk to my mama. Go sit down, Zeke. I said, oh, he finna have a conniption. Okay, Zeke, calm down. Okay, you can't talk too fast. You know, your lip get all thick and your tongue. Okay, just sit your dumb ass down. All right. And it was like, your daddy in jail. Okay, your daddy in jail and he ain't never coming out. That's what happened. And whoever this man is that come up there talking about that he your daddy or whatever, he just lying. You know, it's gonna be people that's trying to come in, trying to you know, use you and get off your fame and all that stuff. And I just said, Monet, why are you digging this hole deeper and goddamn deeper? Okay? And of course, Zeke is dumb enough not to question it at that point. But I'm sitting here like, Zeke, start putting two and two together. Put two and two together, okay? It's just too freaking convenient. Then she go over there talking to Dante like, why would you do this? Because you backed out on the plan, okay? You went against the grain, so I'm going to have to do what I had to do. I want to see my son. You took that right away from me, okay? I was 16 years old, okay? If I would have known that I had a kid, I wouldn't have never chose to go to the military. I needed him, and I needed you. I said, oh, y'all drama filled. What in the Tyler Perry is going on? It turned into a straight Tyler Perry play right there. I said, why do we have all this dramatics, okay? But I said, Monet, you's a bogus bitch, okay? Because you should have told that man. I hate when women do this on purpose, because you don't know how that man gonna react. If he was a bad man, I understand, but you know, from what I'm seeing, he wasn't a bad man. You still should have told him, okay? Or at least gave him the option to be a deadbeat or not, okay? You forced him to be a deadbeat because he ain't know. And I'm just like, that's fucked up, Monet. And she was like, I love him too. I love my son with everything that I got. I said, bitch, that's the first time I think I ever heard Monet say she loves somebody. At least the kids, bitch. I said, oh. You know, I said, you know what? Dante ain't finna let the rest of this slide. And I said, Monet, you are digging the hole bigger and deeper and deeper. Meanwhile, you got Professor Milgram Carey, bitch. She is in her office listening to a clubhouse room that I'm pretty sure it was a private room with all the kids from the canonical studies up in there, and they talking about what's been going on, okay? And then they started talking about Carey, okay? They said, you know, his room's going around talking about something that she was out here fucking Jabari. They probably got back together, whatever. No, she was out here fucking with Zeke. And she like, I said, they was like, you know, girl, that bitch be getting around. That's what like Caramel Macchiato Keisha said. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my God. And you sitting here listening to it. I feel some type of way. Okay, I would feel some type of way. I said, Carrie, the gig is up. Okay, everybody know you a little hoe at this point. I don't like you, so I'm gonna call you a hoe. But Tate come up in there talking about why is it that he didn't get a ticket to the memorial dinner, and she was like, well, people would want they would want people to actually know him, okay? And then here come the dean basically telling Carrie, I know you were supposed to give a little speech or whatever, but I think it's best that you don't, because there's rumors going around about your personal life, okay, on the campus. And then here come Tate, I think that's sexist, and you don't want to play into that sexism shit, so I feel like you should still let her go. He was like, okay, cool. And then Carrie looking at him like, so what you want? I want to be a +1. I said, ooh, this is a mess. Meanwhile, here comes Tamika. I said, bitch, we got, I think, was Tariq up in the church? I said, baby, you need more than Holy Spirit right about now, okay? That Holy Spirit didn't activate chat on your ass. But Tamika came in there with her civilian corporate wig on too. I said, oh, girl, it's late. It's late for you, girl, okay? And he basically want her help, you know, about the fact that, what the advice about, Davis wanted to put Yasmin on the stand, basically. She said to cover up more lies for you. And she said, listen, at the end of the day, you need to do what I said do, okay? Hire me. I'll get you off. You won't get life in prison. You'll probably get 5 years. You'll still be able to be out there, do what you got to do, finish college, take care of your sister, live a full life, okay? Because Davis don't give a damn about you. You know what I'm saying? You're guilty. We know. You're probably not guilty about one, but you're guilty about another, okay? And you're a smart dude. Listen, and she starts showing him all these pictures of all of ghost victims or whatever. She said, I thought with your daddy dead, I thought that this stuff would stop. But the bodies keep on coming. I said, why are you showing him all of this stuff? This ain't gonna do nothing to him. He gonna still be back next season killing somebody else. Okay? Tamika, you better hope that you ain't next on the list. Okay, but you know, she was like, just think about it, okay? Because you smarter than your daddy. You're smarter than your daddy. And if you were smart, you would take this deal. That's what you would do. All right. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Tariq may be smart, but he about to outsmart people. That's where his biggest thing is. And I feel like that is going to be his downfall because he feels as though he can outsmart people. And it's going to be one situation where he ain't going to be able to get out of it. So all of a sudden we get introduced to another person. Well, she probably ain't another person, but she on Dante's team. Okay. I said, oh, who Miss Lady? She kind of cute. And she was like, I see two people. I thought it was supposed to be one. Girl, it's Mecca. Well, I shouldn't say Mecca. It's Lorenzo. He up there, I think, with Drew, right? And they was supposed to meet up and all this stuff, and of course at one point, you know, Kane had an issue with it, but you know, Mecca said let it slide or whatever. And basically they get to know each other, and you know, he's supposed to be supplying them, okay? Because he got this big order, this big shipment. He want to know who he talking to, all this stuff. They dab it up, and it's all to the good. And I'm just like, oh, no, the baby daddies are meeting up, okay? This is crazy. The way that Dante is plotting this stuff, it is something serious, all right? I just cannot wait to see how this is going to end. Meanwhile, at the memorial dinner, Lauren is walking, and here comes Carrie. Carrie come up there basically like, hey, I saw you over there talking to Tariq. And she was like, girl, get the fuck away from me. You need to stop talking to him. He's dangerous. He's a drug dealer, and he's a possible no, not a possible. He's a murderer. He's just so dangerous. And I'm sitting here like, girl, you're not convincing nobody, okay? Because listen, the good girls like the bad boys. So that's like intriguing. So telling them that, oh my God, he's a drug dealer, he possibly murdered somebody. That's fascinating, okay? I'm going to get on the tip anymore, okay? That's what it is. And she was like, even more dangerous than you, okay? Because you the one that's up here lying. You the one that's going from person to person to person. First it's Jabari, then it's Zeke, then it's Tariq, and it's who else? Everybody that's getting in your crosshairs is the one that's getting fucked up. Bitch, I want you to leave me the fuck alone, okay? I said stand your ground, Lauren. Put that bitch on ice, okay? Because while they was in the midst of talking, here come Carmel Frappuccino, Keisha. And she just broke it up. It was like, y'all good? Y'all look like y'all was up into something. She was like, it's all to the good or whatever. Meanwhile, you got Braden and his people there. Trace like, I don't even understand why the hell we was here. I didn't even know how to say Jabari. I said, wait a minute. Now see, I hate when white people, and I'm sorry to say it like this because this is what they do, intentionally mispronounce certain black people name, okay? And he did that shit on purpose. And so, you know, the mom was like, the daddy said, well, he's on the board of alumni, so of course he had to come and show the respect. The sister is like, well, I'm already getting to school because the alumni dollars is already gonna get me into school, so you ain't gotta worry about that. The mama, she done read Jabari books, and the daughter put her on Front Street and said, baby, you only read the sex scenes, okay? And you got it highlighted. I said, mama must not be getting no D from her husband, okay? Meanwhile, Tate come over there talking to the daddy, like, yo, what's up? And he was like, yeah, this is a good thing to fall back on, you know, since your, you know, political aspirations didn't work out at the governor's mansion. Okay, cool. And he was like, just a heads up, I want to let you know that the picture is supposed to be coming out, and it's about your friend Rick Sweeney, and I need you to stand by that or whatever, or else you're going to be put in it, and whatever kickback that you already had in place, if you want to stand by me, you know, it'll still be in place, okay? And old boy said, I'm not here for blackmail, okay? I'm gonna take too kindly to blackmail. And he was like, okay, but you take kindly to blackface. And the look on his face was like, oh shit. And so he walked away. Meanwhile, here come Caramel Frappuccino, Keisha, she get up there starting a little speech, whatever. And then Lawrence takes over and introduces Carrie, you know, and Carrie was looking a little shook. She was looking a little scared because she didn't know whether or not Lauren was going to put her on blast at that moment, okay? But she didn't. So when Carrie started to talk or whatever, you know, she was talking about how big of a heart that Jabari had. Here come Caramel Frappuccino Keisha. She was like, oh, was that big, or was it big up in his pants? I said, ooh. You know, she kind of heard it. But next thing you know, Carrie is trying to ignore that. But then she trying to talk or whatever, but she notices that. And at first I thought she was imagining this, but this was really happening, okay? Everybody was in there whispering about, oh my God, like she get around. This is not the first time. Like first she had the student, first she had the teacher, then she had the student. Like this is something. This is her track record or whatever. And I'm just like, y'all doing all this in front of her face. This is crazy. Plus it was just old white people there too, mostly. So I'm not surprised. So hey, I probably would have been doing the same thing. So listen, it is what it is. Okay, I love some good juicy gossip. Okay. I might not partake in it, but bitch, I'ma listen to that bitch. But she leaves. And of course Tate had to come in there and talk her off the ledge or whatever, talking away about how, he was at the end of his rope, but then the reason why he wanted to be there was to get some stuff on Sweeney and all that stuff. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm sitting here like, he basically saying, you'll be able to survive this. I said, oh really? Oh, really? Meanwhile, Lauren came over there to Tariq room trying to apologize or whatever. And I said, girl, what you trying to get back in? He was like, it's cool. She was like, I should have believed in you. I should have did this and I should have did that. I said, okay. At this point, here come Diane. I said, Diane, now didn't Monet, you just want Monet to beat your ass, okay? Monet said don't go up there to Tariq, all right? And Lauren was looking like, the fuck? Oh. And she was like, am I interrupted? She was like, he said, nah, you can come on in. Let that girl come in and close the door on Lauren's face. I said, Lauren, it's over. It's done with. Move the fuck on. Because he done moved on. Listen, Diane is telling him all about the stuff that's going on about, Lorenzo being out. She helped him get out. She thought it was going to be cool with the whole family. But obviously, it's starting some issues. Monet ain't really happy about it. Drew and his boyfriend going through some stuff or whatever. Kane going through whatever he going through. It's just a lot that's happening at this point. And only good thing is I get to go to school, but I really wanted to come up here. And you know what? I wanted to come up here because I wanted to be with you. And then she kissed him. And I was like, He said, listen, now Monet ain't gonna like this. It don't matter. He said, well, if you're going to do this, you got to promise me one or two things. Like, first of all, you got to be for sure about this, okay? And she kissed him again. I'm dead ass. I said, oh, for real? And he was like, second thing is, Monet can't find out about it. She ain't gonna find out shit. I said, oh, you finna take her down right there? Mind you, when she got there, she asked him, do you know somebody that my mama might know that name is D? So remember when I said earlier that she got that text message when she was talking to Monet, and it was like, we need to talk about him now. And I'm thinking that was Drew. I thought that was Diane's phone, okay? But actually getting a text from Drew. But actually it was Monet's phone getting a text from Dante talking about Zeke, okay? And I said, ooh, baby, your shit almost got put on Front Street. Monet, I'm so glad y'all was talking up in codes and he just didn't say nothing. Meanwhile, speaking about Drew, oh, Cain and Abel, because this is exactly what's going on. Cain getting up in his feelings about the fact that Drew was there at that meetup, and oh, you acting all tough or whatever because you think daddy on your side, you ain't nothing. Meanwhile, your boyfriend out here, the one that's putting our name out there and all this shit, and he the reason why I had to do what I had to do, and woo woo woo, and because he found out about the badge, because he was like, if he could figure it out, I'm pretty sure that Tariq's lawyers and stuff can figure that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Tamika said, bitch. Why don't you just go ahead and give up the person who did this, okay? They'll be the one that's spending life in jail. You'll just get a few years, 5 years, okay? Baby, why can't bring up Everett? Why can't bring up Everett? Because that's a touchy topic for Drew. Because Drew yoked his ass up. I said, damn, Drew, you are really like surprising me. I thought you was the meek one, okay? Like the quiet. It's always the quiet one. It's the quiet one that don't never want to do shit up in the family business that really got it, okay? Because when he took old boy out at the beginning without flinching and no hesitation, I said, oh. But then when he started to beat the shit out of Cain's ass, like, well, he didn't really beat his ass, but he took advantage, okay? He took that opportunity to do what he had to do. And at this point, of course, Lorenzo had to come in and break it up. And he was like, it was his boyfriend up here talking all this shit. And he was like, for real? Is your little man going to be a problem? Is your boyfriend going to be a problem? I said, Lorenzo, you really are okay with him being gay? Oh, I love this. I may just like you just for that aspect, okay? But other than that, you still got to go. But that's nice. He said, clear it up, okay? You need to stop this bullshit. I said, oh, this is something else, okay? Y'all need to stop. Meanwhile, we get over there to Davis. Davis is in the office with Lil Yasmin, the prosecutor Sullivan, Tariq, and her little kids associate or whatever the fuck it is, okay? And so he asking her questions about, the night that he came in. Was it dark? Was it light? It was a little light, when the burnt the toast up. Tariq came downstairs. He was already in the house, okay? And at this point, it was going good. Here comes Sullivan. She was like, now what else did y'all do? Well, me and Big Mama, we went to go get something to drink because Mama wanted something to drink. Okay, well, did Tariq go with y'all? No, but he wasn't there. But it was at night when this happened. Well, if it was at night, how would he be there at before date or whatever? Baby, Prosecutor Sullivan tripped the little girl up because she tripped me up as I'm trying to recant it. I said, oh, shit. Why would you do this to a child? I said, bitch, see, I couldn't be a lawyer. I couldn't be a lawyer. I couldn't be a prosecutor. I couldn't be a defense lawyer. I couldn't do nothing, okay? And Tariq was just like, no, she ain't gonna do this, okay? She ain't gonna do this. She not gonna testify, okay? This is not gonna happen. I said, oh, this is not what he wanted in the first place. I said, oh, my God. Little Yasmin looked so scared. I said, oh, my God, why y'all putting this little girl through this? This is the most we heard Yasmin talk, okay? The most we heard her talk this whole series plus last series, okay? I said, oh, don't put her through that. So Monet had to go meet up with Kane. Kane had to tell her, listen, I didn't realize, I probably missed this part, but when Dante and the daddy met up, basically Dante said that, all of the product and stuff is gonna go to Lorenzo. And at this point, now that I see that, he's fucking with Monet because of this whole Zeke situation. So he pulled the supply from Kane to give it all to Dante. So now they got to figure out what's going to happen because the money that they're getting from the supply, from putting this stuff out there on the street, is what they're being used to pay the lawyer, okay? And that's what's keeping Kane up out of jail and his name out of this whole thing. And here go Monet. So what you gonna do about it? I said, damn. All of this is all of y'all fault at this point. Meanwhile, Tamika then found Sax up in the little coffee shop or whatever, and basically was trying to tell him, that Tariq is not he didn't do this whole thing with the Ramirez thing. So we need to convince him to basically take a deal. We need to get him off because ain't nobody looking at him about this Jabari thing. It's about the cop thing. And, try to make it so that he can give a chance to change himself. And Sax ain't even buying it, but eventually him, her, and Sullivan come up there to Tariq's dorm room to basically iron out a deal, have him sign it, basically saying that he'd get the 5 years, Yasmin will go to that foster home that she actually liked, and everything will be okay. And he was just like, no, I can't do that, okay? Because like they said, listen, they are not looking at you for this Jabari murder. They don't care. You probably did it, but that's not what they're truly focused on. They want you for the murder of Ramirez, all right? But we know that you didn't do that. Sign this paper, and that's the deal. You'll get 5 years, and that's it. He was like, people keep on saying that they don't want me to be like my daddy and all this stuff, but I would be worse than him if I snitched. And, on the one hand, I was like, you know what, Tariq, you're being dumb, okay? You're being really, really dumb. But on the other hand, I get it because exactly what he said. Even if I do snitch, what's going to happen to my mom, Big Mama? What's going to happen to Yasmin? What's going to happen to me? Okay? You think that we can just roll around all free and everything? No. It's not safe either way. Okay? So he just said, I'm going to take the lesser of two evils right now and just go to trial. Sullivan was so pissed. I said, girl, you probably going to win it, so why you mad? Okay? You get to go to trial. Moving on from that. Girl, why was Drew up in the car and stalking Everett and then was about to go take him out? And I mean, take him out like pop. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Up until Everett sent him a text like about something, what you doing? I miss you. And that made him change his mind. I said, damn, Drew, you really was finna take your man out like that? That's kind of messed up. Get the emotions out of it. I still would have popped his ass. Then we got Zeke. Zeke is at the crib, talking to Diane, saying basically Monet said, to stay. Monet said, I need to stay up here because, people out here trying to, use me because some man talking about some he my daddy and all that. I'm sitting here, I just could not get past the way that he speaks. And I'm sitting here like, did they ever say that he was born down south or he was from down south and then he came up, to Queens or wherever they at in New York? Because if he was born and raised in New York, why did he have that goddamn accent that sounds so countrified? Okay, I said, boy, that's what makes him sound stupid. All right, but moving on from that, what's his name? Davis gets up in his car. Kane and got him at gunpoint in the back of his car. I said, what the freak? And he was like, all this stuff better turn on Tariq, my name or us better not be mentioned or whatever. And Zach, not Zach, but Davis basically said, as long as you pay me, we'll get this done, because if he goes down, you're eventually gonna go down too. And keeping Tariq out of jail is what's keeping you off the street. Okay. And so I'm just sitting here like, damn, Kane, you didn't want to be known, but people know who you are, because David was like, tell your mama to keep the payments up or whatever. So Kane, I'm just sitting here like, y'all just making moves that are just dumb at this point. And this is why Drew is the one that they want to run the operation, because he thinks, Kane, I know she said do something about it. What you gonna do? But did you really think this through? No. Meanwhile, Lorenzo trying to woo Monet, got flowers everywhere, got his Versace robe on and everything. And I was just like, oh, okay. He asked him, was she still messing around with Tariq? She said, no, I shut that down. I said, okay, cool. Meanwhile, the guy that he put in charge went over there to Keno's crew and took them out. Raquel, that's the girl name. She gonna be my baby mama. Raquel said, sent the text to Lorenzo and was like, it's done. And then we see that Lorenzo laying up in the bed, baby. I thought Monet had took him out because of the way he was just laying so perfect. I said, Monet, you took him out. But Monet was asleep too. I said, damn, like it seemed like, what time is it? Because when you came up in there, it was dark, and it's still dark now. So what time is it? It was only like 30 minutes that y'all did what y'all did and fell asleep. Lorenzo, you need some practice. Monet was knocked out, okay? And her phone text, she come through. Bitch, Dante saying, we need to talk, please. I said, oh, don't beg her. Don't beg her. You done already messed it up, all right? You done already messed it up. Meanwhile, after all of that, Davis go down there to talk to Saxe. And he was pissed off about what he did, trying to get that deal done. But also he wanted to know who it was that Lauren was talking to, her liaison at the police station. And then when he found that out, that it was Carrie. He had to go down there to Carrie. Baby, Carrie is a read in itself, okay? And on the one hand, I don't like how they have this black woman being portrayed as a whore, okay? But on the other hand, fuck her, okay? Like, literally, I just can't stand her at this point. He called her out saying, listen, you got 4 niggas on this case that you done fuck with already, okay? And I'm pretty sure she meant, he talking about Jabari, Zeke, and Whitman, and him. She tried to come at him, talk about something, your body count higher than mine, and you married, how is Maryland? He said, you better watch yourself, all right? But let me just let you know this. You put Lauren up there on the stage, I just want you to know that I'm going to tear her ass up, okay? And she was like, no, you can't do that, because when Tariq finds out, it's not going to be safe for her. Oh, who cares? At this point, I said you should have thought about that before you did what you did, bitch. Okay, now you up here putting people's lives in danger because you got a little vendetta and you want people to know your secrets. Meanwhile, Kane had to meet up with Tariq and tell her that, listen, we ain't got no product and you're gonna have to figure it out. Okay, but that was basically the episode, y'all. All I have to say is, if Carrie survived this season, she better get got just like Jabari did last season. Because I just can't with her right about now. Anyway, you guys tell me how y'all felt about it. Another good episode. Once again, I apologize for it being late, and I will see you guys later. Peace.